Hi, what's up, y'all? It's Monday, another trading week. So let's see if we can find some trades this week. So the first thing we're doing, there's no news today, so we can just hop into my accounts so I can show y'all everything is the same from last time. We didn't take no trades last week. So if you go into my Effectify account, I'm gonna sign in. Uh, let's sign in like that. Wait for it to load. Then we're gonna scroll down. This is the funding account. We're gonna go to the dashboard. And as it loads, you're gonna see everything is the same when it loads. See 1.91 drawdown. I took losses in January, so it was like around 2%. I didn't take no trades February, and we're still in March. Definitive funding. That's another prop firm. So that was the 100K account I showed you. This is a 50K account I'm showing y'all. So I'm just updating y'all every single live stream before I hop on the charts. Y'all know, like, I ain't take no trades behind it. So you want to definitive funding, go to accounts, and as you can see, everything is the same as last time, right? And if we go to the last account, sign in right here. Press sign in. Oh, gotta sign in with Google. And here we go, sign in. Just waiting for that to load. And here we are. This is the 100K account. And as you can see, everything is the same right here. And like I talk about in every live stream, just to clarify this right here. 5%ers dashboard is not accurate with this number. I'm not down 2.28. I'm down 3.4. If you look at the equity versus my original balance, that's supposed to be 100K. So this is the 100K funded account right here. So 250K in total. And now we can go on the markets to see what we see. Ah, so I'm not gonna be looking at USD JPY only because the market condition isn't right for my strategy. Because last week I was eyeing it a little bit, but there's some more clarity in price and what in the types of movements. Because if you know my strategy, I want to see a cycle as we flush, which is a flush means we come through all the MAs and we start to break structure. I like to see at least 4 to 5 breaks of structure and the direction I want to see of the overall trend or what the higher time frame is telling me. As we start breaking structure, I want to see price pause to the 10 and 20, create a setup on the lower time frame to continue downward. But what we see here is as we break structure down, we reflush, break structure. It did a nice area right here, reflushed, but it wasn't enough breaks of structure because look, we had a flush, we had one break of structure, two break of structure, reflush, one break of structure, two break of structure, three, reflush. Hmm, maybe it's not too bad, it's three, but I like to see 4 to 5. Let's see if there's another market that looks better. Hmm, let's see. Um, right now the market isn't ready for this market. As you can see, we're overall looking for buys because of the higher time frame. As you can see, I was on the daily. You can see we're trending overall bullish, but the validation time frame, which is the 1 hour, is clashing because we broke structure twice and we're starting to flush down. So what I would want to see is price to re-break up either twice or push up with so much momentum it clears all the highs. You see the MA start to rise up, and then we make a pause in the 10 and 20. So it's just depends on how price moves. Gold, like I said, I think it was like Thursday. I think it was like Thursday that I said it was really unclear for me, or Wednesday, because at this point right here, I was like price is most likely gonna chop around. Um, due to the fact that we had this huge sell-off candle right here. So I was expecting price to chop off. So I didn't look at it when it paused at 10 and 20. And it just ended up chopping around for like the rest of the week. So there's still nothing to do. So let me just go on my context time frame to see what's going on with gold. So there's nothing to do. We don't even need to go on the 1 hour right now because the context time frame we flushed down and we just need to clear up these highs to create the first context breaks of structure before going on a lower time frame. By the time we go on a lower time frame when that happens, the 1 hour is going to be already like trending good, having its own cycle where it flushes, makes some breaks of structure where we could potentially get involved. Let's see what's going on here. So this is the same thing from last week what I'm expecting. We're still in this flush area right here. So I just want price to clear the high right here to continue the cycle. So we have flush on the first break of structure after the flush before I even do anything. So there's nothing to do right now. Same thing right here. We have the flush right here. And I do want the first break of structure after the flush before I do anything on the lower time frame. So right now there's nothing for me to do. And Bitcoin, nothing to do. There was a lot of markets that I could scan for, so I'm gonna put y'all on it real quick. So I'm about to go on this website called the MentorFX Sentiment Viewer. This was created by my mentor, MentorFX. And it's a good way to scan markets real quick based on the overall direction, so I can just take a look at it to see what it's doing. So I was doing this, I think, yesterday. And I found some good markets that were in good bullish context. Like, wonder how AUD JPY is shaping up because we have the daily is 87% bullish and we're over 50% bullish in the intraday. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a look at the market to see what is it potentially doing. And let's see. Right now it's not in a clear context. Yeah, it's not in a clear context, so I completely just ignore it. See, I don't want to just use it alone, so I want to pair it together. There was some markets that I saw that was looking good. I think it was. I know I'll see it when I come across it. I think it was. I think it was GBP CAD. Let me take a look at GBP CAD. GBP CAD. All right, the weekly we're overall bullish. Did I even have this on my watch list already? Did I analyze this? Oh no. Also, GBP CAD is right here. Let's go into context time frame. This. Yeah, I like this. You can see the momentum in the market based on how price is trending higher with the overall direction. And whenever price is in a good market condition where it's trending, you're going to notice that the 10 EMA, which is the black line, the red, is the 20, and the 50 are going to start to rise up like this as price is way above it. That's something I really like to see. Um, so now that the context time frame is in a good context, let's start to actually label this real quick so y'all can follow along. So I'll call this the that's way too big. I'll call this I'll call this the C flush right here. I'll call this, and then we can just use the call out tool. This is the context breaker structure. That's the first breaker structure that showed itself on the context time frame. Now we can jump on the lower time frame to see what's going on. Okay, so we flushed, faded, structure, flush. So this shows a good market condition right here. So what I would want to see, so recently we flushed right here. So we flushed. This is the validation flush. That's what I'm calling it. And right here is going to be the validation structure one. If we can like close like above it still. So what I would expect at this point is for price to basically at your break structure pause by the 10 and 20. And then I will look at the lower time frame. So I actually like this market. How do I add this market real quick? So I'm gonna add the market right here. So, so I'm gonna put it in right here. GBP CAD. There. because that market does look clean. And I'm gonna put it in. Oh, that's where I put all the markets. I didn't notice because I added them to the watch list. I was like, I didn't know where they had went. So we can put that up here. We can put USD JPY. It's not too clear for me. Blue. And then the rest of the markets I was watching ended up being on down here. I think it was GBP, AUD, flush. What are we doing currently on the context time frame though? Let me delete all this. And then, yeah. Oh, I'm tripping. There we go. Let's see what we see here. So we have the flush. We had the free flush. Trending market right there. As you go on to the what's it called, the 1 hour. We had the flush. So an example like this is we have a flush and pause right here, but it ended up filling down, reflushing again. So the 1 hour isn't ready. We're gonna flush. And I would need declare that high right there to validate that break of structure before doing anything. So I could put this in blue, drag it up here, put everything else in red so I don't confuse it. These are almost ready. So um, what else? Euro NZD. I think I put this on. This one looked extremely clean. Euro NZD. I don't even think I traded this before, or maybe at least once. Like what you're gonna notice with market conditions are always gonna change, right? But it doesn't mean you specifically gotta change your strategy or anything. It just means that there's some other market that's gonna match your strategy. You just gotta identify it, look for it, and you can trade it, even though you haven't traded before. So the overall direction. Well, the weekly is kind of a bad example to use. So because it doesn't look too clear, but if we go on daily, right? Recently we broke structure once, twice, took a break of a low, continued high once, twice. Every market condition with it trending above the MAs like this. And you already know how I use structure with the breaks of structure. These two breaks might have a break of low, uh, expecting highs to be cleared. So that's actually I didn't label this. So, so labeling this so y'all can follow along. So this is gonna be the C flush and stuff like that. Based on the market conditions, I could be trading in lower time frames, so y'all might see me trade some of my challenges, but I'm not gonna count that as trades because I can tell um that some of the market conditions may look good on a lower time frame. Me to take some challenges. So you see how this market condition, like I love market conditions that just It just pauses by the 10 and 20, keeps going like this. This is a good market condition. Flush, one, two, three. This makes a lot of breaks of structure. Flush, one, three flushes. So we could continue higher and start doing the same thing. So I like this market condition a lot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call this the flush. So notice how the names doesn't matter. It's all about just identifying what price is doing at that moment and aligning it. So what I will want is for price to clear the high like this and get paused by the 10 and 20 after we clear the high. So it's just the same thing over and over. So I'm gonna put this in blue because it's almost ready as well. Put this up here, put this up here, put this up here, put this up here. I like to organize my colors, y'all. We got green, blue, red. So let me just take a look at this 1 hour real quick. And like I said, since this is not ready for my actual funded accounts to trade on a 15-minute time frame, I'm gonna use a few different time frames to trade a lower time frame for some of my challenges. Because I have some challenges with FXify and my funded FX. So yeah, let me see. Based on which time frame looks the clearest, maybe I may do I think a 5 minute would be reasonable. We flushed. Okay, one, two. Oh yeah, that 5 minute look clean. But so does the 1 minute as well. Um, the 1 minute is really fast. So if I was to do this, I would have to enter for at least one challenge only. Yeah, I'm gonna just do that. So what I'm gonna do is do it from my phone. Damn, it's so we actually no, it's not ready on the on 1 minute right here. It's not ready yet. I mean, I could trade the. I'm gonna trade the 1 minute. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show y'all the time frames that I'm gonna use for the 1 minute. Uh, let me just quickly. Actually, I can just open it up right here. My funded FX trading platform. So y'all keep in mind if me taking this 1 minute entries is just for the challenges because I want to keep my funded accounts as accurate as possible. I've been using 15 minutes this year, so that's what I'm gonna use. Yeah. So how am I gonna trade this 1 minute? There's a few time frames, so we really know the overall direction based on the weekly. I'm gonna use the 6 minute for the validation time frame. I'll save this time frame right here, so I don't have to keep going back and forth. I'm gonna use the 6 minute and uh the what's it called? I'm gonna use the 10 minute as well. Wait, nah, I'm gonna use the 6 minute and the 1 hour. I almost tripped out. So nah. All right, so the 1 hour is gonna be the context time frame for the 1 minute. So yeah, y'all don't get confused right now. I'm doing a lower time frame system based on the same thing. So the context we flushed, moved up 6 minute. This is why I could tell like the lower time frames look clear. And as we come down, so we flushed on this validation right here. You can even call this the flush right here. This is the flush. We came up, breaking structure once, pausing on that 10 and 20, breaking structure twice, pausing again. So all I gotta do is wait. Oh, the 1 minute looks a bit clear. Yeah, the 1 minute looks clear. So right now I'm gonna be waiting for a setup. So it move up a little bit and it pauses cleanly against the 10 and slash 20 and I'll set a buy stop. So yeah, um, I'm gonna just put like a note right here so if anybody comes in, y'all know what I'm doing right now. Actually, nah, whatever. I don't need to do all that. So even when you're trading a lower time frame system, there still need to be like a form of patience and stuff like that. And a lot of the times you're gonna notice whenever like price is really like flushed out, the 1 minute won't look clear as well. Like an example is something like this, where since we are down here on our context time frame, it's not clear for my 15 minute, but it doesn't mean I can jump on a 1 minute just to um rush the process because the 1 minute won't look clear as well. Because the 1 minute, if I was using the 1 minute, the 1 hour would be the context time frame, and we're still in like a flush on the context. So it wouldn't be even good for me to come on a 1 minute. So I immediately knew I could come on a 1 minute right here based on what this 1 hour was already doing. It could come down a bit more and set up on my 15 minute, take some entries on my funded accounts for me to take, but it's not ready. And I don't want to be trading challenges for like 6 months. So I'm very flexible with the time frames I can potentially use. So my funded accounts could potentially set up right here, but for now I'm going to be taking 1 minute entries for challenges while I wait because I know that can set up. So everything looks clear based on three time frames for a 1 minute. So use a 1 minute, use a 6 minute, and you use a 1 hour for 1 minute entries. And I think this could potentially set up. So I'm gonna stay on this 1 minute time frame. And how will I know that my 15 minute is ready when I'm ready to look for entries for my funded accounts? Or how I will know is because the 1 minute will start to break down like this, probably like around this area, like it will do like an extreme flush. And at that point, I know I can go back on my 15-minute time frame and not my 15-minute time frame, but my 1 hour time frame to see if it paused on this 10 and 20. Then I could wait for entries on my 15-minute time frame to take from my funded accounts. But for now, we're just doing challenges. All right, and it's setting up pretty nicely. So we're pushing up. So y'all gonna see me take a challenge. I mean trade, but for the challenge. Essentially, so what I could do too is I can get this prepared as well. GP, that was GP cat, and I'm just getting this prepared. You know how the 1 minute be. You got to be quick with it. All right, you see how it's pushing up like this? If we do get a setup like this, at least y'all will see what I'm basically looking at for my original 15-minute time frame entries. Everything is fractal, and that's why you can see that I'm very flexible with time frames. And technically, I could trade this on my funded accounts, but that's just something I'm not willing to do unless I have tested like completely using different time frames and back testing and demo testing. But the reason why I'm willing to do that on challenges is because it's just a challenge. It's not real money. I don't. It doesn't matter if I lose the accounts and stuff like that because I'm trying to pass it, add it to the amount of front of the accounts I have and stuff like that. So we're moving up nicely. Everything's still moving nice. So it's all about how it pauses against this 10 and 20 as well. I want it to rise up a bit more. So as it starts to come up a bit more, the 10 and 20 starts to rise up. Once it starts to do that, we get a nice pause, which is the pause is basically one candle that prints before the taking out the previous candle's high for a buy stop. So if we just get something like this, there's nothing to do. Patience. Look at that move. Okay. So it's still not ready because I got to keep in mind we're still the MAs are moving across each other sideways. You know, it isn't wrong to take like a buy stop above it, but as I refine and kept getting better, I noticed the best type of opportunities is as the price starts to rise up and rejects and that breaks through. So if you look at some of my older videos, I would wait for price to move sideways and then I would take the entry, like not sideways, but the MAs move sideways with price and then take the entry. But the more refinement I did, I like this way better. Let's see how it does above. Like if we can like reject as it's moving up, like if this candle was to reject and then end up closing right here, it will start to rise up a bit. So what I can do is potentially get an entry set up right here above this high. But it all matters how it closes. So I can potentially get something ready above That's some good spreads right there. Trying to account for the spreads. I have no idea what this would be. What's this? What's the risk on this? That's cool. Yeah, it's starting to rise up a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna take this. Oh, I stop. Yeah, because it's starting to rise up a bit right there. So if I get tagged in, I'll be up above here. Let me actually take another buy stop because this is a challenge. So I'm gonna go in with around. Ah, shoot, I got tagged in already. So let's see. We can. Yeah, I already got tagged in. It's too late. Unless we move down a little bit where I can add the second entry. Uh, it's too late. It's too high. It's all good. I don't need to do anything like that. Unless I get another opportunity, but if you can see the spreads is all the way up here. So keep in mind, y'all, this is not an actual account, but y'all can see my management is gonna be the same. So basically, how I'm gonna manage it. Oh, it's already fine up. But basically, how I'm gonna manage this is it's the same rules I always do. So if price ends up breaking this 20, which is that red line, I'll end up cutting my loss early. Because based on what I tested, if it breaks it, it's most likely gonna be a full loss either way. But if we end up making a structure where we made this high, made a nice pullback, and we break structure a good distance away from my entry point, I can break even. Then my management would be hopping on my validation time. Not hopping on the validation, I kind of changed it, but my management would be based actually yeah, hopping on the validation time frame, waiting for at least on 3 candles of because usually you're gonna see price print momentum within the first 3 candles. So if we had like a candle right here, a candle right here, and a candle that prints right here, as long as it's above at least a 2R or above, I'm gonna take a partial, and then the rest of the position I'll basically trail with the second low. And what do I mean by that? So if price was currently right here, I will trail with this low. So, because if you notice, price can break a low, then continue. So it's protected. If price is right here, all the way up here, I'll protect by the second low. So if it's all the way up here, I'll protect right here. If it's all the way up here, right, I would protect right here. And as you can see, it would have broke down at this recent low, but this one is still protected. And then I will still trail and trail and trail. So I'll wait for the second break. As this breaks up, it's gonna update a low right around I think this area right here, and then that's when I can update this right here. So that's how I would basically manage this position. So yeah, like if we can break this higher with some good, like we if we can break this high with some good enough momentum right here, then I'll break even it. So let me just have conversation while it's doing whatever it needs to do. Um, I probably might ask, why don't I trade a 1 minute time frame? Because I can find more opportunities. Well, I used to trade a 1 minute time frame, but the only thing is I do run a business as well. So being on the lower time frames in the morning is probably not the best decision for me. So because I usually like to use that time to work on little stuff. So even when I'm on these live streams, sometimes when y'all hear me silent or I'm move away from the charts, I'm working on something for my business, or I take this my YouTube channel seriously as well. So um, I may be working on something for my YouTube, or I'm making a thumbnail, um, creating up a video idea or something like that. So just being on the 1 minute, I can't just be watching it all the time. So is what I do, since it's a 1 minute time frame, I have to be very quick with it because price can easily invalidate itself and stuff like that. So I have to be prepared. I like how it came back to my entry. So if it really clears, that's be a good reason to break even. Oh, I should be recording this for my challenge video. I forgot. Let me just record this little part. Hey y'all, I just got an entry for my challenge right here, up $660, whatever. This is all on the live stream right here. I was gonna take entries from my regular funded account, but I found some 1 minute entries right here. It's the same thing. Even this was a great opportunity. You see how it rejected right there and cleared the high right there. So if we can just break that high right there, I will break even this trade. It's a risk-free trade. I only took this for one funded account. This is a 1 minute time frame, and I didn't want to have the hassle of like just trying to enter a lot of accounts. It's just too stressful. I'd rather just pick one account for a situation like this. So we're gonna see how this goes. It's all on my live stream, y'all. So I'm just showing y'all what I do. Even though, you could say I don't have any emotions because it's a challenge. I do the same thing for my funded accounts, and that's why I keep my funded accounts for as long as I have. So I like looking at TradingView to see what we're doing. And simply what I'm just waiting for. If we break that 20, I'll cut the loss. If we break the high, I'll break even. So I have no idea what it's gonna do because anything can happen. Price doesn't have to do it at once. You just follow the rules that you tested. So I have to get prepared right here. See, I gotta get prepared here just in case. Because we gotta keep in mind, anything can happen in this 30 seconds. Right. So we still didn't break. We rejected off of that 20. And even if I take a loss, even if it's like it's not the full loss, I'm still allowed to look for one more entry for the day on the challenge. Before I call it a day for like trading this specific challenge, because you gotta keep in mind this was only one challenge as well. So all profitable trading is just math. It's just math. I think people try to like overcomplicate it. Um, One thing I noticed, people doesn't they don't test their system. The only reason why I'm confident to cut a loss when it is time is because I tested my system. Another thing is, yeah, it's just math. So, example, if I cut my loss based on rules, right? What do you think is gonna happen when I even win? I'm looking to catch H. If you notice what I said, I take partials based on the validation if it's at least above a 2R. Sometimes it can close at a what 4R. I take a 2R gain. Um, then the rest of the position I'm trailing based on the double low to protect to potentially catch a trend. That's already giving me a huge advantage. I don't need to win a lot. My win rate is around 30 to 40%. 30 to 40%. But I still end up profitable. I still have payouts and stuff like that. I'm breaking even the trade now. So moving my stop loss right here. Here you go. So I just moved my stop loss to break even. Hold on. This is a challenge, and I'm gonna take out my phone because I'm recording this for a video as well for my YouTube channel. All right, y'all. As you can see right here, I just moved my stop loss to break even right here. Almost 900 in profit right here. As you can see, we ended up closing above that high. All the price is just fractal. See that entry right there. So we just gotta see how it does. Moving nicely so far. Only one challenge. I could have had it in more, but we don't judge things based on what we could have did. You know. Plus, I think my FXFI account, there's certain risks I can't use because of the leverage. So now I don't even need to focus on this time frame, but I know my entry time frame is still not clear based on where price is. Because the fact that price is all the way up here shows me my entry time frame is still like just up, and what I would need for price to do is come down and pause by the 10 and 20 for my actual entry time frame, take trades for my funded accounts, because that's what I really want to show y'all, my funded accounts, not challenges or anything and stuff like that. But I know it's not ready because even on the lower time frame, we're already trending higher, and we could continue higher and not give me an entry and stuff like that. Oh yeah, so now that we got that, so we're on the time frame right here. Where is this? It has to be above a 2R. That's one candle. That's two candle. It has to be at least a 2R. Okay, I could take partials. What's this? 20. Come on. Hey. Yeah, so I just took partials based on the rule. Oh, I tripped. I tripped out, y'all. But actually, no, I didn't. I thought I tripped out. Um, yeah, I did kind of trip out because it didn't close above it, but I thought it was. because at the same time it was like this is a lower time frame. So I shouldn't have closed that. I thought it was. That was my mistakes. But it is what it is. I took profits, but I don't like when it, because that's a lot of a difference right there. Point 0.3 right here. That's my fault. I should have actually looked. But I took partials around that area. Close enough. Whatever. Now, what I'm simply going to do to potentially catch a larger run-in trade is as we start to break up, I'll be trailing my stop loss with the second low. The second low. So example is when if price breaks this high right here, like this, the low will be updated somewhere right here. So let's say the low start is right here. Looks like it may stop me out at break even. Shoot. Not break even, but yeah, the rest of the position may stop me out at break even. Let's see. Is it gonna give me a chance to explain to y'all in real time my trailing rule? This is really powerful. Once it does actually go in your direction, it's really powerful. Okay, so it not hit my. Is it not? This was technically break even. I don't know why the stop loss thing didn't work. Oh, that's why I'm tripping. This was a pending stop loss. That's why. Good thing I just closed that. But either way, for the challenge, took a some partials. I could have did that way better. You know, the first thing that happened was, what's it called? Yeah, the first thing I could have did better was um verifying that it actually closed, not just a few seconds before. And the second thing was, yeah, that was my fault, but we still made profit. But this is a challenge. Now it could reset up for my challenge again, but like I said, I will know my 15 minutes ready for my funded account entries if price like really just ends up flushing down like all the way down here. Because at that time it will match with the higher time frame. That's why I say these bracelet structures that y'all see on time frames, as if the overall time frame is bullish, you see bracelet structure like this. It's just high time frame areas being made, like a high time frame structure being made, stuff like that. So don't get me wrong, you can still set up again. Right here, we're close to that 50. We come up again, reject nicely, and I'll take like a potential buy stop above this area right here. But I'll probably do it for a different challenge because I just took one for right here. So I'm gonna if it does set up again, I'm gonna take it for second challenge. Oh, I didn't even update my YouTube channel. I can do it after the stream. Hopefully I remember. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is see what it does around this area before I make any decisions. So this was it. It wasn't a bad trade that I took. It wasn't a bad trade. Made made profit for that challenge. So okay, yeah. So the same thing I'm waiting on. So now I'm glad I actually got this entry for that challenge because now y'all can have a good idea on what I look for my funded accounts. Because as you can see, it was a nice rejection that came here. It was a nice pause to the buy stop. We broke even as price broke the high and stuff like that. And I ended up taking the partial right here. It was should have been right here, but it was by accident. I thought it closed up here, but the last few seconds it closed down here. Is what it is. Okay. Yeah, it could set up again. So if this sets up again, like I said, I'm gonna take this for a different challenge. I might as well update my YouTube channel right now. Let me update. So I'm gonna record right now. Let's update. So let me go back to the account that I took the trade on. Y'all gonna notice in these live streams, like I'm gonna be recording like small YouTube videos and stuff like that for these challenges. So I'm gonna load. All right, I think this was the account. No, that's not the account. Maybe it was this one. Was it this one right here? Yeah. Oh, I clicked the wrong one twice. Is it this one? There we go. All right, just a update right here. The rest of the position stopped out as break even right here. This is what price is doing right now. So if we could set up right here, I'll take a different opportunity for a different challenge. So let's see. But there we go. Recorded that small clip for my YouTube. So I hope this is like teaching y'all something. I'm not expecting y'all to use in my specific strategy, but y'all can see like the rules do matter. If you don't, if you don't have confidence in your system, it's simply because you didn't actually do the proper work. It's not your fault because a lot of the stuff online on YouTube, they make it seem they don't tell you the proper way to go about it. So while we waiting, I'm gonna just make conversation again with y'all. So let's talk about hmm, why did I start live streaming? Started live streaming to show more transparency. What else? Um, I'm giving away all this information because it really doesn't matter to me. I know I've been stopped selling my mentorship like probably like in the beginning of February or mid of January. I think it was the mid of January I stopped selling, but everybody that's in it already still like gets help. I don't update the videos because I feel like a lot of the videos have a lot of information already, but I still do like help out in there, but I don't accept new people because I'm trying to improve my own trading this year because I have some big goals with my trading performance this year, especially since I have the $250,000 of um trading funds to trade with. So the potential with that is very high, like six figures and stuff like that. So I just want to solely focus on my trading, refine it. Maybe in the future I'll open it up again. Um, maybe I'll do something with live trading, but with a smaller time frame, so there's more entries. Okay, so what I'm noticing right here, this huge candle. What I would want price to do is if the next candle, yeah, so if it clears the high right here, then we just missed the opportunity. There's nothing to do. There was no way to really get involved because you know this wasn't a good area right here, and so on and so on. But if this candle can like pause, like come back all the way down, maybe even touch the MAs, well, this candle just took out this high. So if the next candle after that can pause like all the way down to at least this 10 before taking out this high, and then I'll set a buy stop for the second challenge and stuff like that. But right now, there's nothing to do. So if it does happen, I'm gonna get everything prepared. So because keep in mind this is a 1 minute. I said I'm gonna set it on a different one. Okay, GBPAD. I mean GBP CAD. GBP CAD. Like this. If we can just reject nicely. So it's all about how this candle closes, because for all you know, it can reject all the way up here. So I'm gonna still get it prepared. It's 25 seconds, 24. It doesn't even look like it's gonna do it. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna do it. It looks like a reflush. Either way, I wouldn't like this as another entry, only because the stop loss is not consistent with what I'm used to. So let's say I took an entry right here. My stops were to be right here. It's not consistent with what I'm used to. See how big this stop is compared to this. So what I can wait for, so we came down to this 20 like that. If we can make another pause in this area, then I'll take like an inside area right here. So clean pause. Let's see what is it gonna do. Yeah, it took out that high. Yeah, there's nothing for me to do now. I missed the opportunity. And do I am I gonna complain about oh, I only got a partial and then price stop me out at break even then continued higher? No, because I understand that's part of the game based on me seeing it over during my back testing and so on and so on. I know that I'm gonna have certain trades that are gonna just run and run and run. I know that there's gonna be certain trades that I take a full loss on, or I may take a cut loss on, or so on and so on. So there's nothing for me to do. Simply, let's see what we're doing. So we flush, we created the first, we created the second, we created the third breaker structure. So we got a. I love this market condition. This is going exactly like how I want a trend. How I told y'all basically, I want the trend to a true trend to be forming. So this is this is, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a 5 or 6, but this is here. This is the for a challenge. So I'm just making sure I'm labeling it. This is for like looking for the opportunities for the challenge. Because until we make like a massive breakdown, I know there's no opportunity. 1, 2, 3. There's a fourth one right here. So like I said, it creates at least 4 to 5. This was the fourth one. So I'm gonna wait for a fifth one. This wouldn't declare of the high wouldn't be the fifth one. I, and I know that because simply the indicator, the way how the indicator works with identifying highs and lows and stuff like that, is as price is making a pullback, if the as it's making a pullback, if price can basically displace or break in this case below the previous candle's wick, then it's gonna and then it breaks that high completely, then it's gonna be updated as a low. So example like this is this candle right here broke below that previous candle's low wick for that pullback, and then as it broke the high, updated this low. So even if this high gets broken, it's not gonna update this as a low because there's no candle that breaks that previous candle's lows on wick. If you get what I'm saying. Another example is like right here, where as we're making a pullback, made the pullback right here, but we cleared the high. The most recent break of that previous candle is right there. See, breaks the previous candle's low. So that's how I know. So that's why I know that there still could be a potential move that happens, but I have to be keep in mind that this could end up flushing again, which is what I want to see. I want to see price flush on this time frame because at that point, if it flushes on this time frame, it'll probably be pausing around the 10 and 20 on the validation for my original entry time frames for funded accounts. So see, this is my thought process when it comes to switching over time frames. So what I'm gonna do is I'm still gonna be on my 1 minute because it can still set up. Okay. Hmm. So one rule that I also implemented is no more than like two trades in one specific area. So even if I take a trade in this area and it doesn't work out, I'm not gonna enter another trade in the same area for even if it's a different funded account. 'Cause it wouldn't make sense because at that point, um, that would that would increase the exposed risk on this particular market because if price really wanted to make a move, it would have made a move at least by the second try. And it wouldn't matter if it made the move on the third try, but it's all about having rules that keep you in the game. So if we can reset up, I'm gonna take another opportunity. Let's see if we can take another potential win before it comes to our original time frame. Mhm. So this is all I'm waiting for. So if y'all have any questions about what I'm doing, y'all can comment and stuff like that. I can help y'all out. Even if it's not based on strategy, if it's about like psychology and stuff like that, I can help y'all out with that as well. Okay. So even if it breaks down, I'm gonna be happy if it breaks down because at that point I could finally get a potential opportunity for my regular accounts. I ain't make no money this year on trading so far. No payouts this year. January was that losing month. February, no trades. We in March. Let's see what we can do this month. Y'all gonna see what I'm talking about as price breaks down right here. It's just filling in the high time frame structure. Y'all gonna see it what I'm talking about. I feel like it needs to come down a bit more, but y'all gonna see like these small breaks of structure is just higher time frame it structure. That's all it is. That's why you will see like whenever I'm taking trades, I'm never confused on what direction to trade because I use top down analysis. I ignore the intermediate price because you don't need to be trading everything to make money, a lot of money in trading. If you just focus on building up the accounts you're trading, the amount of money you're trading with, and even if you take one trade for the month or two trades for the month, that can potentially be a lot of money if they are winners. All right, so we're breaking down. So potentially my higher time frame to actually take a trade on the funded accounts are probably like trying to like set up. It's probably gonna be pausing on the. Let's go on this higher time frame. Oh yeah, we got to make a huge move because yeah, that was a 1 minute. So yeah, that was a 6 minute. So if the 6 minute can do this, there you go. If the 6 minute can, yeah, I think if the 6 minutes needs to come to at least the 50, and then I think that's when the 1 hour would look like it's pausing against that 10 right there, and then I can go on the 15 minute. So it's very easy for me to just switch time frames. Like maybe even like I could switch to another time frame for just challenges right now. I could show y'all like all this is just fractal what I'm viewing. Like example right there. Um let's see, we call it on 10, 20. No, it still wouldn't look clear. The 1 minute is still the best um time frame so far for entries right now. 1 minute is still the best time frame. It still can still set up because like I said, look, we flush under, we can still come up just like how we had on this left side right here. We can still make it on the right side as long as it doesn't flush too deep, like on the 6 minute, like this validation. As long as we don't um cause a flush, which is either we come under all the MAs or at least like we break aggressively under that 20. As long as we don't do that, that means 1 minute is still clear. And notice how it doesn't matter that I never traded GBP CAD or I don't think I traded GBP CAD at all. It doesn't matter. It's just matching up the market condition with your strategy. And then one thing I also I'm just making conversation with y'all while I'm waiting, just getting value. But one thing I notice about a lot of some people who are break even traders is maybe they're following their rules, but they're stuck at break even. That could just simply be because you're trading in the wrong market condition with your strategy. Because if you notice, like how I hopped on the market, I identified, like for example, gold. I followed gold up for a while until it started to look unclear. Like if you look at this 1 hour, like this choppy, the market condition has completely, completely shifted at this area right here. And y'all saw on the live stream while I stopped around this area watching it. Yeah. So it's just certain stuff like that you just need to identify what it is. Because I don't care what strategy you trade. I'm not trying to convince nobody to trade my strategy. It's just you just need to understand more, have a better understanding on what price is doing. Uh, this would be so crazy if it actually does start to break down because it will go in line with what I was telling y'all. Usually after the flush, you will notice in a good trend from my market condition, 4 to 5 breaks of structure. We have the first, we had the second, we had the third, we're on the fourth one. But I still think it could set up as long as we reject off of this 20, we're still good. wonder what other topic I can talk about while I'm waiting. 'Cause I feel like I just gave a lot of value in the past streams for the last week. The stream for today. What else can I talk about? Mm, let's see. I understand, like, if you're completely new, just be patient with learning this. When I first started in 2020 and I was trying to learn, it was very hard for me to understand. But as I kept going at it in a couple months, I started to understand like price action a little bit better. But I feel like the main reason why I wasn't understanding it in the beginning was because I was looking at everything, like every single strategy on YouTube. And a lot of those people who were teaching how to trade, now that I look back at it, they just sold a dream on how to trade. And, in my opinion, I feel like they didn't really know how to trade themselves. So me looking at everything and everything now, it's like a conflict because one person would say, no, don't trade this, but the other person would say, trade that. And then it got to a point on my journey where I realized it doesn't matter what you trade. Just find something that you like, test that system, then demo test, which um, can lead me to my second topic too about demo testing, because a lot of people have a big misunderstanding of demo testing. But once you do those things properly, put money you can afford to lose into a challenge or into a live account and trade it the same way how you followed your rules in back testing and demo testing, given the fact that you were profitable on both of those stages. So one topic I want to talk about, I just came up with a topic, demo testing. A lot of people think demo testing has no benefit at all to them. And the reason why what I noticed with a lot of people who try to demo test, they don't demo test properly. Even when I did it when I first uh did it years ago, I did it wrong as well. A lot of people they open up a demo account, right, and they judge their trading based on the P&L. So let's say they open up a $100,000 account on a demo account, and a complete beginner, maybe they place high lot sizes, and as soon as price, because when you place high lot sizes, you don't need a lot of movement to make a lot of profit, right? So let's say I made a high lot size, it went down, right? And as soon as it goes down a little bit, they see it's up, what, let's say 10K already, and they take that profit. And now they just do it over and over because it's easy to make profit when you're just taking these small profits with no stop loss and everything. And now they're seeing that on the demo account. Okay, I'm making money on that demo account. And now they're immediately going to that live account and they wondering why it's not the same. Now, now imagine if you were to follow rules in your back testing, right? And those same rules you followed on your demo testing. I mean, like placing an actual stop loss, actually accepting the loss, actually accepting the win, and actually treat it like a actual live account. So that's one thing that actually transformed my trading, and it actually helped me to not lose a ton of money when I first started as well. Because after I blew my first live account of $50, I grew that to like 100 something. Then I blew it on Bitcoin. Don't ask me why I was trading Bitcoin, but I was trading Bitcoin. After that, I didn't open up another live account. I did buy a few challenges, but they weren't expensive. They weren't a lot. The challenges I bought was like a 25K account. I didn't even aim for a 50K account until I think 2 years into my journey when I felt a bit more confident. But I wasn't just aimlessly buying challenges like a lot of people who end up blowing 30, 40 challenges and stuff like that. I don't even think I blew 10 challenges. I don't even think I blew 10 challenges. I think maybe I blew like 5 to 7, maybe 5 to 7. But out of my whole 5 years, I only not even 10 challenges. It's because most of my time I was on demo account. Um, the only issue when I was on demo account was like I there was a part in my journey where I didn't understand I needed to accept my losses. So whenever I would go on a losing streak that I thought was too big, I would just create a new demo account and try to trade the system again or change the strategy. So that's the only thing I was doing wrong. But the thing I was doing right was I was into that demo account. But at the same time, when I was doing that, the reason why I wasn't having that confidence and I kept restarting was because I didn't do that back testing, the initial stage. Because you need both of that. You can't do the demo testing without the back testing because when you're demo testing, how are you gonna have confidence if you're actually following your system if you don't know what the data tells you? A lot of people they don't know their max drawdown. They don't know um they don't know their max win streak. They don't know how much they could potentially gain. And it just makes no sense to be trading with your actual money if you don't know none of those things. You know, it's all about gaining experience and gaining the muscle memory. And you gain the experience and muscle memory through those testings. And the good thing about it is you don't have to lose a lot of money in the beginning stages. And I'm not saying you're not going to lose money at all because that's a lie if people are saying that. But you don't have to lose this 20 challenges, 30 challenges, 30 accounts, live accounts to finally become profitable trader. It doesn't have to be this on like this like extremely hard thing. Don't get me wrong, it's hard, but it doesn't have to be extremely hard like how social media makes the journey seem like. So it's breaking down like this. So let me check on the 6 minutes to see what we're doing. Okay, so on the 6 minute, we broke down. So I can consider this a refresh. There's two reasons. One, we broke this 20 right here on this validation. So this is a validation time frame in terms of trading with a 1 minute time frame, right? So we broke down. On top of that, we have a good size of massive like sell-off candles. It's a huge candle with barely any wicks. Let me delete this arrow so it's more clear to see this area. Yeah, barely any wicks. Huge sell-off candle. We broke that 20. So now the cycle has probably restarted, and notice how it lines up with that 4 to 5 breaks of structure. So now what I can do is I could delete all these. I don't really need this, but I just use it to show y'all what I'm doing, and plus it looks cool to me. I don't need a label for real, but so now I can consider this as the flush. Now the cycle's restarting right here. But at the same time, I wouldn't be looking for any more 1 minute entries because of this reflush. In order for me to look for more 1 minute entries, I would need this to happen where this is the flush. I need the price to create at least one breaker structure first, then repause about at 10:20, like how you see over here, to look for opportunities on the 1 minute. Now, let me see if my actual entry time frames are potentially lining up. Not yet. So the 1 hour, I still need my 1 hour to come down right here to look for 15-minute entries and relative for my funded accounts. So that being said, there's still nothing to do for my personal accounts at all. So what I can do is I can play around with some time frames to see if something looks clear on a different time frame and use the time frames that are relative with that one to look for a potential opportunity. If that makes sense, because I talk about this all the time. Price is fractal. So let's see. So this is the flush on this time frame. I'm trying to see what potential time frame could this be pausing on. Let me see. Let me check a 10-minute real quick. Yeah, like a 10-minute right here. So if this was a 10-minute as a validation time frame, what would it be? Maybe a 5-minute. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe like I'll say like the time frames what I could use is again if I'm changing up my time frames, this is only for challenges. I don't change my time frames for funded accounts. But if I was to look for 5-minute entries, I'll probably use like a 10-minute as my validation time frame, and I'll use a let's see, 10, I'm trying to calculate, yo. 10 times 10 is 100. What is 100 minutes? How much is 100 minutes? Hold on, y'all. Let me look up on my phone how much 100 minutes is. 100 minutes is like that's close to like minutes to hours. 100 minutes to hours. That's almost a 2 hour time frame. So let's just say the context time frame in this case could be like a 2 hour for like a 5 minute entry right here. Yeah, so everything still aligns based on the context. So you can see like how everything is still gonna match up if I switch my time frames. And then I said I was using a 10 minute as my validation time frame, which looks really clear. So let me actually like start this so I don't have to like keep adding it. So that's a 10 minute right there. Um, so on the 10 minute, so if we were to look for 5 minute entries and stuff like that, what I would do is, oh shoot, let me put that back right there. So I could call this like the V flush. That's the validation flush. It's the first break of structure. VOS 1, VOS 2. I can't spell right there. And potentially we can make 3 to 4. So that being said, we're going our the 5 minute entry time frame, right? Now you see it's starting to look similar to that 1 minute now. Look, on the 1 minute, we wanted price to come close to that 50, push up out of that range. As the MA start to rise up, we create a nice rejection alongside that 10 and 20, and we set a buy stop. Now look what's happening on 5 minute. I'm not saying that it's gonna happen, but it can potentially happen. We're pretty much close to that 50 because it doesn't have to come exactly to the 50. It can either come close to it, at it, or flush under it and start to make the move. So if we can make a move where we push up like that, make a nice pause against that 10 and 20, I'll set a buy stop for my challenges. Just like that. So this is going to take a bit longer to set up because now we're on an even higher time frame to wait for opportunities. So while I wait for that, since these were marked in blue because they were almost ready, um, I'm gonna quickly look at them to see if anything has happened with those. Um, let's start off with my actual like, ew. No, these are not ready at all. I could tell that they're not ready because we even what you're gonna notice is you want this to complete. Like if the lower time frames are gonna be on ready, the higher time frames are already gonna be trending. They're gonna be on the top right side of the chart, not the bottom of the chart. Example, you see how this is at the top of the chart? This is at the bottom of the chart. That's how I know that like the lower time frames aren't ready because I look to get involved with trends like this as well. Not ready. Yeah, they're not ready. So GBP CAD is still the best one so far out of them. Okay. And if the 5 minute wants to fail and it doesn't want to create a setup, that is still a good thing for me because at that point it will probably be against that 10 and 20 on the 1 hour, and then I could finally look for opportunities for my accounts. So let me go back on this 5 minute to see if it potentially could set up. Oh, I wonder if there's any other topics I can talk about while I wait. Trying to give as much value as possible. Mm, How much should you potentially? Oh, this is a good one. A good topic. How much should you risk on challenges? Okay. So when I'm risking something for a challenge, since it's just a challenge, so you remember how I told y'all to put money you can afford to lose on these challenges, right? When you put money you can afford to lose on these challenges, and you follow your rules and everything, it doesn't matter if you end up losing the challenge at the end of the day, because it's not breaking the bank. You followed your rules that you did in back testing and demo testing, so you're not going to be as affected as someone who didn't do that work. So how much do I potentially risk? I risk based on my data. So you're gonna notice how much your max drawdown potentially is during that back testing and demo testing. Let's say your max losses you can take in a row is 10 losses, or your max drawdown is 10%, right? Let's say the max drawdown on a challenge is 10%, right? Now, there's two ways you can go about it. It's like if you really don't care about the challenge, you could risk 2% per trade, but you got to keep in mind that if you was risking 1% during that back testing and demo testing, and your data is saying that your max drawdown is 10%, keep in mind that it is a high chance that you're gonna hit that max drawdown and lose the challenge. But you have to keep in mind as well, when you risk more, you can pass that challenge faster, and as soon as you're on the funded account, you need to lower that risk. But I- I'll say if you wanted to be conservative, maybe just risk 1% on it. But if you wanted to be a little bit more aggressive, maybe 1.5, something in the middle of it. But keep in mind, you still have like a possibility of failing that challenge because of your data. So any decision that you make, it needs to be based on your data, and that's what I do as well. So if I'm growing a small account, say let's for example that small account challenge that I'm doing for y'all. And I could have took that trade for that small account. I almost forgot about that. Damn, I could have took that. But for example, that I was risking I think 5% per trade, and the reason why I'm risking 5% per trade on that is because I understand what I can potentially my max drawdown. So in order to lose 100% of the account, I would need to lose 20 trades in a row while risking 5%. You get what I'm saying? And my data shows me my max drawdown is around 10%. You get what I'm saying? Another topic. So how do you avoid hitting your max drawdown um in like your funded account? Let's say you made it to the funded stage. Simply a good one is lowering your risk. Me, I'm not risking 1% per trade on my funded accounts. I risk 0.65, right? So that's a good thing. So in your back testing, it says that if you risk 1% per trade, your max drawdown is 10%. So when you onto the funded accounts, if you lower that risk, now it's even better for you because now you have more room. On top of that, if you add rules to cut your losses, you're good. You are good. So with me, I now have rules to cut losses as well. So I'm good. I cut my losses. I'm already risking way less than 1%. So even if I go on a losing streak, I can be confident that I'm not gonna lose my account, because it is a bad feeling if you lose your account, your funded account, because of the work you had to do to even get those accounts. Everything still looks good on this 5 minute. Everything still looks good. I hope y'all can see just no matter the time frame you trade, there has to be just a level of patience. You know, I be seeing videos on YouTube that make it seem like if you're a 1 minute trader, that means you're gonna just be on just placing trades after trades after trades. Yeah, you can get opportunities way faster, but it doesn't mean that you can't be patient. Then another thing is people think that if you trade a 1 minute time frame, there's a lot of noise. The reason why it seems like it's a lot of noise is because people aren't doing the top down analysis with a 1 minute time frame because I can easily avoid a lot of potential losses, even potential wins, by doing top down analysis. But you have more clarity. Even down to the seconds time frame, you can even trade seconds time frames. My personal mentor, he has some students that teaches with like trades with the seconds time frame. I even witnessed it. He used to trade with the seconds time frame. I never traded with the seconds time frame because personally, I feel like that would cause me a lot of stress because everything moving like in a few seconds. And on top of that, you have there's a few disadvantages of trading those lower time frames. Like second time frame, you're gonna the spreads. Maybe you can find a broker with lower spreads, but like the commissions and stuff like that, that's something I just don't want to deal with. And then you have to be extremely quick. I'm really quick with a 1 minute. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I gave a lot of value. I don't know what else to really talk about as I'm waiting. It does look like it could push up and then start making the setup, but I never judge what price may do based on like the what the candle is doing during that time because a candle can be pushing bullish during this 3 minutes and then the last 30 seconds it just falls down. That's why I always wait for the closure of the candles. I used to make that mistake in my the beginning of my journey of looking at the candles before the close. It just causes a lot of FOMO, especially when you don't understand your system. Okay, let me look what I'm supposed to. I need to be getting some work done besides trading. Let me look what I gotta get done because I've been just talking and talking. Um, Damn, I don't gotta do anything this morning. For real, for real. You gotta check some messages. Uh, let's see. Yes. Who else don't be eating breakfast in the morning when they first hop on the charts? I ain't eating nothing today. I'm just be hopping on the charts. I eat after the charts. Oh, I know another topic to talk about. Uh, let's see. Yeah, I almost lost it. All right, so y'all remember how I said like I didn't make no money this year so far trading, right? And at the same time, I'm full time. I'm a full time trader. So how do I handle that? Simply, because your emotions can still kind of affect you, even if you tested your system and back tested it and you're a full time trader as well. One thing you need to do is I recommend the extra incomes. I have multiple other besides trading, you know, and when you have multiple sources of income, right, you don't really need to rely on the charts. And a lot of people think that's a bad thing. You don't really have to rely on your trading income and stuff like that. I don't really like those type of people because they're usually unprofitable or don't understand what trading is really like, right? So when you have these extra sources of income coming in, you don't have to rely on the outcome of each trade. On top of that, you already know your system is going to make money overall. But we can't predict whether we're going to have trades coming in on a specific month or if we're going to have a profitable month. But now if you have those other incomes coming in, it's going to make your system more it's going to make you less worried about the outcome. And then on top of that, you need to have your living expenses saved up. So when you have both of those combined together, you're not gonna be too worried about like, oh, you're not getting trades. Because January, I thought I was gonna have a profitable month because usually January is profitable for me. But you know, there was a few mistakes I had made. I had discussed it already. I could have ended off at break even, but it is what it is. Then I didn't take any trades. That's 2 months so far. Because your living expenses can go only so far, but if you have another income that you can constantly add to that to your living expenses and pay what you need to pay, then you're good. So it looks like a good setup. I look you want to scan for more markets with the sentiment viewer to see if there maybe it is like a trade for my actual entry time frame. I'm not sure if I want to do that or not. I may or may not. All this patience, just waiting, waiting. Yo, waiting. Uh, yes. You see how on the lower time frame we started, well, just consolidating. One thing you can notice is like, let's see what talk about. You can still be wrong about direction and still make money. You see how I still made profit on this trade, even though I was wrong about the direction? It's because rules can either make you money or lose you money, but it's gonna make you money overall. But people don't understand their rules. Yeah. Um, oh yeah, let me go back on this 5 minute. We're just waiting. Mm, 7 minutes. Let's see, what else can I talk about? Well, notice how I just gotta stay patient. I can't even like jump onto this 1 minute time frame and be like, oh, skip the process because the 1 minute doesn't even look clear either way. And notice how I never get confused about the short term direction. I just ignore all this. Oops, went on the 1 hour. There's nothing to do. Just switching between time frames to see. what it's doing on the actual time frames I'm using for my actual entry. Because if this was to be ready for my entry time frame, you would notice that my entry time frame, like I said, price is fractal. If it was ready, it would be close to the 50 by then. So it's some distance. So I'm gonna just keep this 5 minute on for my challenges. Mm, ooh, mm, let's see. I don't know what topic to talk about anymore. I think I discussed everything while I was waiting. Only thing I hate about these live streams is actually sitting around the chart and waiting because I don't be around the chart waiting at all. I don't be waiting at all. I'm just on my phone right now. But unless it's something like a 1 minute entry, like how we did earlier, unless it's like that 1 minute entry, because that happens faster. Anything above that, like a 5 minute, I don't want to be on the chart like that. Because even though a 5 minute is still a lower time frame, there's still patience that needs to be involved with this. I do feel like it could settle right here because, like, based on the structure, how we view structure, we need to have at least two breaks of structure in a say in a bullish direction, and then potentially a break of a low. We can assume the target is the high. So if you notice what price is doing on this 5 minute, the entry time frame right here is doing basically what I'm expecting. So we have the first break of structure right here. We have the second. We have a third one. So it's at least two or three, two or more. And recently, right here, as we're flushing down to that 50, which is one requirement I want to see, it's also potentially about to break that low. It hasn't completely broken, but maybe after we get that break, that's another confirmation we can use to potentially um see price start to push higher from that area. But I would really look. I would probably like lean towards. I don't care if it does that, but I really would like if Price, gave me an entry for my actual funded account. So either direction, it doesn't matter to me. So yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't live stream on Friday, y'all. I think I already made a post about it, but the reason why I didn't live stream, let me show y'all while we waiting. Let's show y'all. Let's look at what happened. What just happened? What was it? It was NFP, one thing. But usually, there was red news all day. So yeah, we had NFP, but usually I would take a look at the charts after NFP on what happened to see if it's clear. Because if price is not clear, it's gonna show it on the charts with my strategy. Simple like that. Because my strategy, it has patience within it. But basically, NFP right here, and then immediately right here we have another red news of my boy Powell speaking. Like what? You would I was not gonna be trading. Because even if I waited, I'm a 15-minute trader. Dude, I could potentially still be in the trade by 12:30, or if, for example, it probably wasn't even gonna move much. So that's the reason why I don't want to trade on Friday. At least y'all can see at least y'all can see I update y'all with my accounts every single live stream before I start. So you can see the stuff that I talk about on my channel, I actually do. I'm not one of those people that tell y'all to do something and then behind the scenes I'm not doing it, Because there's a lot of people like that. So this right here, it could still set up for a 5 minute because now we're actually at the 50. And like I said, we can either come close to at the 50 or slightly under it before making a move higher. Or this move can just completely drop off, like breaking structure like this, like completely moving down to make the higher time frame structure like I was talking about. So I hope my strategy is making sense, my psychology and everything based on what I'm waiting for. This is what they mean by trading is actually extremely boring. It's fun when you in a trade because you get to see them profits or price about to hit your stop loss and all that. You get to see that in action. But real trading is boring because you got to sit on the sidelines and wait for what you wait for. Hmm. Another thing, let me find another conversation. I was thinking about adding something to my strategy, not adding, but creating another entry opportunity for different market conditions based on how I view structure already. Like for example, something I was testing, but I didn't test it a lot for me to even implement this was so say if we have a move like this where we have two breaks or more and an overall direction is really trending like this, and then we have the first break of structure. What I was testing, I don't have much data on it, so please don't do this. So I would draw the 50% like a fib right here from the low to the high and basically set a limit order right at the middle. What the hell just happened? Set a limit order. Is this the yeah, a buy position right at the middle. What's going on? All right, set a buy position, put like a stop loss right here, and so on and so on. I haven't really solidified like the management, maybe like breaking even by structure. And the whole concept for it is not my actual strategy. I'm gonna have to say that again. But the whole concept of it is because if you notice, like I talk about all the time, structure needs to happen on all time frames. So you're gonna notice a break of a low before price may continue that overall trend. So that's basically what it is, a break of a low. You could enter right here, but the safest stop loss would be the second low, the low under right here. That would be the safest low. But you know, the bigger your stop loss, the lower the target you may want to have in that case. Maybe like if you were to do something like this, you may want to just aim for a 1-to-1. And it's gonna be like more consistent. Or maybe you can just use the fib, aim at the middle area and stuff like that, and maybe aim for a 1-to-2, but a 1-to-1 break even, or maybe test some rules where you can potentially manage to catch a potential trade, but only if the stop loss is at a reasonable area, something like that. I haven't been really. It's just something I noticed, but not nothing I really just tested too much because I would really need to test that for like at least 100 trades, then go on a demo account for 6 months trading that. But right now, I'm just sticking to on what I'm doing right now because I have some challenges I want to pass. There's so much stuff I want to do, so I don't want to add a testing another system while trading a tested system for 6 months. It's just extra work. Maybe if I wasn't taking so many challenges this year, but I got other things to focus on. Going right back on my phone. Let's see, it's 10:38 right now. So based on the time, I'm gonna go back on my higher time frame to see if it's possible for a opportunity to happen to like around like 12. So the way how I do it is okay, go on the higher time frame and then I see what's the likelihood of a setup actually happening because my actual entry is the 15-minute time frame. Like I said before, for anybody new coming on, my 15 minutes is the actual entry I'm doing for my funded accounts. The other time frames I was just entering for my challenges. That's why I was looking at other time frames. But um let's see. The way how I determine that is okay, we're close to that on the 10. I want to see price come to the 10 on that validation in reference to that 15-minute entry. So it's pretty close. So I do feel like price could get to it soon. And then once we're on there, yeah, I feel like it could potentially set up. The reason why I feel like it could potentially set up is once we push down, we're on a 15-minute time frame. So each of the candles is 15 minutes. So if a move were to happen, I could see it happening like quickly like that. So basically this is what I would need to happen on my actual entry time frame to look for a trade. But I do feel like the next few candles on the 15-minute could make that before 12. So it all depends on how the next candles are forming. Are we gonna consolidate? Because if we're consolidating right here and it's 11 like 30, then it's unlikely for a actual opportunity to happen before 12. You get what I'm saying? Based on a 15-minute time frame, because each of these candles got to close in 15 minutes. So that's how I determine whether I'm gonna just leave the charts early or not. So let's see. Am I watching this again? So I was on a 5-minute time frame for entries. So I'm gonna quickly check the validation time frame that goes with the 5-minute entry, which is it was like a 10-minute. All right, perfect. So the validation for the 10-minute is showing us the same thing. The validation for the 1 minute was showing us, because the whole reason why we stopped looking at the 1 minute time frame was because the validation for it, which was a 5-minute time frame, ended up breaking. No, it wasn't a 5 minute. It was a 6-minute time frame. Ended up breaking this area, and which I consider a flush, especially since we already created the 4 bricks of structure. And usually, like I talk about, we make 4 to 5 bricks of structure before a flush. So that being said, that's why I switched my time frames to the 5 minute. But now you see the same thing happening. Our validation just broke that 20. So we made 1, 2, and now we flushed again. So we can delete this right here for this validation, because now we're restarting the cycle. So now I'm not interested in, even if price makes a move at this area, I'm not interested in it, because now we're most likely, whenever you see a flush, we're most likely gonna either come down lower or chop around in this area, and I don't want to be involved in price around that area. So what I'm gonna do instead is, I think it's gonna definitely set up for, not definitely set up, but it can potentially set up for my actual entry time frame. So now I can ignore these lower time frames and actually look for trades for my funded accounts instead of challenges. So what I'm gonna do now is just wait. That's all I gotta do. We got the 15-minute that can potentially come up. I mean, if I was to look for another trade for my challenge, let's see what time frame can like match with it. 10 time for, yeah, I'm gonna just not look for any more trades for my challenge. Just stuff like that. But basically, if you definitely go ahead and watch that challenge video I have out though. I'm gonna have out. But if you already saw the trade here, that means you saw an early peak of the next one that's gonna release with all the trades taken for the challenges. So let's see. I'm just waiting for that move to happen. Let's see. There's really just nothing to do right now. Just to wait for it to come closer to that 50. Even if it comes, like, it doesn't have to touch the 50, but just close enough to that 50 um where we can potentially set up. That's all I'm waiting for. Once we get closer to 50 and then we start on setting up, I'm gonna open up all my accounts so I can prepare an entry right here. but there's no rush. No rush. Ooh. I'm so tired. So it's 11:46. So if a candle came down and closed, so this is how I determine it. So if a candle came down, that would be like 15 minutes. So if a 15-minute candle closed around down here, it would be around 11 o'clock. If we made a move up like this, so this is just assuming if price was to set up right now, basically trying to align it with the times price like these candles close. So it would be 11 o'clock if price were to like just close down here. If price were to push up like this, it'd be 11:15. And if it was to make that pause, it would be like around 11:30. And then 11, I'll set the buy stop, and it'll probably be like around 11:45. So that's like a bit before 12. So I could still wait a little bit more. If it's still in this area, probably like around maybe like 11:15, I'll probably just hop off the charts early because it's just unlikely that it's gonna make that full move down and set up because the time frame we're on. So just stuff like that. I'm just keeping in mind. So I'm gonna have to place a minimum position size so I don't lose my accounts. Because if you know to keep your accounts active, you have to place for my specific funded accounts. I have to place a trade at least once every 60 days. So since I didn't place any trades for my funded accounts in February, that's already 30 days. No, I haven't placed any trades since like January 20 something, right? So 60 days is coming up in March, so I have to make sure I do place that minimum position size, like probably like just a 0.01, nothing too crazy. And then I immediately close it because that would be crazy losing all my accounts just because I was being patient. It's just rules that come with the funded accounts. Uh, So I'm thinking about just doing live streams for the whole year. I'm not even sure if I want to do live streams next year, only because I didn't even know live streams were gonna be like this. I feel like I'm low key tied to the charts, even though like I'm not really. I'll be on my phone sometimes. Sometimes I'll leave, but low key just don't like being just around the computer, just waiting. But yeah, if I had something to do, I'll probably not be around the charts right now. I don't got nothing to do this morning. Scrolling Instagram. If price was to push up from this area, there was probably like a lower time frame opportunity. I just have to find it within the time frames and stuff like that because this would probably be like I said, price is fractal and stuff like that. And how do I know like there was probably like a lower time frame opportunity if it's on setting up like this? It's because if we assume this was like a validation time frame, and on our validation time frame we want to see like a flush, the first break of structure. After the first break of structure, we pause, come back down, like pause at the 10 or the 20. You see how it's pausing at that 20 right here? It's doing a nice rejection. That means on a lower time frame, some type of entry time frame is probably setting up. So if I was to look for that time frame, I would only do it for the challenge. I wonder what that time frame would even be. It would probably be like a just patiently waiting. Oh, I know a topic to talk about. Time frames. Oh, I feel like there's like a misconception about like a specific time frame. The way how I look at time frames, like, so time frames are basically a way to view orders at a specific time. That's how you need to think of on time frames. That's why you can see that I easily can switch between time frames, and it's not like it's not like um I'm stuck on one time frame. I can easily switch between time frames because you can see how, based on what happened during that time, you can see clarity in price. If you get what I'm saying. So this something like this. Let me actually just look on a lower time frame because it might be setting up something on a lower time frame for me to actually just place something on a challenge. Because one, the challenge doesn't really matter to me, and two, you know, no, you just want to you trying to get to the funded stage on those challenges as well. I'm trying to, because if I pass all 500K of my challenges, I have 750,000 I'm trading with. That's a good feeling. I feel like maybe a 6 minute. Yep, 6 minute. Let me see something. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look for potential opportunities for my challenge again. So, like I said, I'm taking it on I only took it on the first trade. I only took on one account, and it was a nice win. So we're taking the second opportunity on a different account and stuff like that. Just because it's on a lower time frame, I could have just connected to the trade copiers to make it easier. But at the same time, I have to like I would have to redo everything because my master account is actually my Finitive funding account. So if this was to set up right here, we would need that move up, clean pause, buy, and then I'll set the buy stop right here. Even lines up with what we expect price to do in terms of structure. Multiple breaks of structure, break of a low, assuming the target is the high and the overall bullish trend. So that aligns as well. Then in this case, we can consider uh the 24-minute as our validation for this time frame. Get a 24-minute. Um, what is I think that either 2 or 3 hour. Let me see what could be the context time frame. I already know the context time frame is clear based on the reason why I know the context time frame is clear is if you just look at the higher time frames, any higher time frame, we're just going to be trending up like this. As long as we up like this, you can just know that the lower time frames are clear for a good trend. So I'm gonna hop back on this 6 minute. See if we can make a move from here. Take it for my challenges if it does happen. If we don't and we fall off, um, potentially, I may get something for my funded. Let me go in my journal real quick. I want to see when did I actually start trading. Let's see. February 19th. Oh, I added these in here for my challenges right here because I wanted to this is this is not just my funded account. This is including challenges. So these two trades that was taken in February were only for my challenges, which ended up being a. Oh, I didn't even add the result of this one. This one was a break even. Um, this is not all the trades I took this year. I took more trades. The rest of the trades I took were in my Telegram when I had the mentorship. But like I said, I'm not promoting it anymore. I don't teach any new people, only the people that are already in there. I don't promote it because I'm focusing on my own trading. But I did take more trades that are in the Telegram with images and stuff like that. So I just decided to document it all in here so it can be more clean and stuff like that. So that was zero. This was a break even. Uh, there you go. And stuff like that. I don't know what to talk about now. But also, it's the 23rd. That was the last time I took a trade. Let's see. Let's just look at my journal real quick while we're waiting for something to happen. So if we look at my journal, I want y'all to see something real quick. Like y'all will notice that the what I look for, you're gonna notice like a common theme with my entries. Look at it. As we this was a good ideal entry right here. No rejected. This was a 5 right here off of that but I want to see a rejection off of that 10 and 20. Look at this. Made that move up, made that pause, buy stop. At that point I didn't see this entry because I came on the charts a little bit later on, but this was a good one too. And it ended up being a nice winner for gold. Uh Make sure you guys do journal y'all on y'all trades and stuff like that. My form of journaling last year was with that Telegram because even though I was sending out them entries, it wasn't as signals, and it was personally for me to look back at it too. But you want to write down your trade management, everything, so you can when you reviewing your trades at the end of the month, you can see if you made any mistakes because oftentimes you can probably make a mistake and not realize you made a mistake and it caused you to have an unprofitable month. So there was some mistakes I made in January that caused me to have an unprofitable month. Like there were three on trades that I took that I didn't account for spreads and I got tagged in early. I could have avoided that loss. There was another winning trade that I took. I think it was this one. It was this one specifically that accidentally risked half half of my half the normal. So when I did win on this, it was half the normal, so it didn't really cover all the losses. So I would have been back at break even if I noticed that. Those are some stuff that small mistakes that can affect your trading. But you just need to like when you make a mistake, realize you're human, fix it next time. Don't just be stuck into the past. Focus on right now. Because right now is going to make up for your future results. And if you're stuck on the past, that's going to affect your future results because you're stuck on your past losses, your past mistakes. So stuff like that. Let's see what we're doing right here. So honestly, right now I'm gonna look back on my 15-minute time frame to see is it likely to make a move on my actual entry because that's what I'm really here for. So it's 11:04 right now. If we was to drop down still, That will close at 11:15. So I'm just using the same thought process. So if we were to come a bit closer, that would be like around 11:15. If we were to make a move up, that would be 11:30. And if we were to pause cleanly like this, hold on, y'all. So we were um be let's see, so 11:15, 11:15, 11:30, 11:45. And then the move will bring us into 12 o'clock. So I don't think it's really worth it for me to even stay on the charts, only because the move would probably bring us into 12 o'clock. That's the max I would like just take a trade, um, and stuff like that based on this market. But you have to keep in mind it doesn't have to do. That's assuming that if the move wanted to set up right now and stuff like that, it could consolidate again before even doing anything. So me seeing that, I'm probably just gonna end the stream early because I don't see it. It can. It's like a 50-50. It can make a move. It's still possible, but I don't think it's gonna make a move. Um, so perfectly right now. So I'm gonna just end the stream. I'm gonna show up tomorrow, and hopefully we can find like some type of trade for my funded accounts. But at least we did find a trade for my challenge, and we took that nice win. But yeah, me